This is the JP podcast. I was just, I was just sitting thinking about it, about the little things, and I'd figure I'd just talk them out, and see where it goes. So yes, it is now 2026, January, January 9th, or it's January. It's just January. January 2026. So this week got me thinking about the small stuff. The small stuff we do that nobody notices. See, it's the things that aren't flashy. They're not viral. They're not out all there. But they're things that actually matter. For example, I hit the gym this week on a day where, I didn't feel like it. I had no motivation, no spark to go to the gym. It's the new year, it's the new year, gyms are gonna be packed. I knew that was gonna happen. So like in my head, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not feeling it. It's gonna be too crowded. I'm not gonna be able to do what I want to do. Like, just didn't want to do it. But then nothing big happened. I went to the gym still, and I still did it. I still was able to get my workout in, even though I did not want to go, even though I didn't feel like it, even though I wasn't like in this headspace to go to the gym. I was like, hey, go to the gym, just go. And that alone, it's a win, because I didn't, get lazy or get like, in the headspace of, well, I got tomorrow, I got the next day and the next day and the next day. But when is that going to be the next day? Like you might not feel like you want to go, but if you get your body moving for like at least 10 minutes, it's a win because you're getting your body moving, and then you start to get more and more and more into your workout, and at the end of it, you went. And that's all I care about is if, you go through the days where you're struggling and you try to get you try to stay with your routine no matter what, because with a good routine causes good habits that we should all take in. Um, I also prepped. I also prepped this my meals on Sunday. We're getting back on that grind of making sure my meals are routine. They're boring, but boring is good for me. I'm okay with it. Chicken and rice, steak and rice, ground beef and potatoes, all those kind of things. But this week I did a little bit of I did chicken and spaghetti. Right now, don't really gotta care about what I eat right now, but I just make sure it's whole foods. Not too many processed ingredients in my meals. Just making sure I get greens, fruits, vegetables, greens, fruits, some carbs and some protein, obviously. But no one sees that. I don't really show it too much, but and no one talks about it. We don't show our meals of what we're eating because it's kind of weird in a way. But like I say, I'm in the fitness industry, fitness part of life, or even just health in general, health lifestyle, fitness lifestyle, and behind the scenes, it's a lot of me just cooking, prepping, making programs for my clients, and just very boring. As well as having time to like hang with friends, hang with family, and just be there and just not rotting away. But come Monday morning, see, it's a small victory, and it makes life smoother. Yes, hot take. People think, why would you want to meal prep for the week, or isn't the meals get don't the meals get boring? Um, yes, they get boring, but it just keeps me in check of like, oh, I get to eat this meal no matter what, and I know how much protein, how much fats, carbs are in this one meal for 3 times a day. And it's it doesn't work for everybody. Like I do say, I get bored of things. But it's just a habit that I created for myself to stay in my macros, stay consistent of my protein intake is gonna stay up, and that's all I know. That's all I care about because I'm not saying I don't eat an In-N-Out burger. I do, or I get some Cane's a Caniac combo. I do. But when I'm on my routine, it's meal prepping. I meal prep for the week, just so I know that I'm not spending too much money on fast food or going out to eat. It's more of there's a budget. Let's cook some meals for that budget for that week, and bam, it's all done. It's all solid. Just gotta heat it up. Air fryer, microwave, stovetop, oven. Perfect. But that's really the theme for today's episode is everyday wins. See, it's not flashy. It's not dramatic. It's not like those aha moments. No, it's just the stuff that builds life over time. So let's get into it. So a gym story that I have for this is, everyday wins is so the other day, yes, I was tired. I was tired. Like shut eye tired. Like my eyes were closing on me. Took some pre-workout. It did work a little bit, but not to its full potential, but it is what it is. And I just couldn't imagine going to the gym. Like I was just like, I'm so like tired right now. Like I don't want to work out. I don't want to get like sweat or I don't want to like do anything. I felt just lazy. But it was my leg day. I love legs. Another hot like people like I feel like a lot of guys don't like hitting legs. I love hitting legs. It's amazing. It's I think my strongest component. But I was hitting. I was it was my leg day. I was like, oh, I need to go in. Like I need to just show up, just grind, go to that place. Put your head in that space of you're here for an hour, hour and a half. Just obliterate your body and just do it in a safe way, but in a stress your muscles and just attack, like fight for what you got. So what I did, I went, I did my normal routine of now I do legs once a week, but it's more of like a full leg day. I'm hitting everything, but I'm doing less sets, like normal sets, but going heavy. Right now, I'm on my weeks where I'm going heavy. Like I'm trying to build up that strength, build up that like the tearing those muscles down, and then in a couple weeks or a couple months, I'll go more to volume. But right now, I'm trying to put on as much muscle. I'm trying to put on as much mass, so I'm trying to just in a healthy way, just break down my body. Cause what's gonna fuel that is the carbs and fats, and then after my workouts, protein shakes, protein of chicken and rice or whatever I have on my meal preps. But this week was chicken, so yeah, just eating a bunch of chicken, tuna, also for like tuna packets. They slap. They're a great source of protein. Calories are so low, perfect. And after my workout, after my leg day, I came home and instead of feeling lazy, feeling tired, feeling why did I go? No, it was the opposite actually. I felt better than I expected. I felt like outside before, like pre, didn't want to go. Post workout, oh my gosh, I was like, this was much needed. I needed to work out. I needed to be active. I needed to do what I did. And it's amazing. It's crazy how our mind can trick us from things that we're doing. Because, like I always say, motivation didn't exist in that time. It's just the standards that I've created. I set my standards of if I'm trying to get to some sort of goal, you gotta set some standards and you can't just rely on motivation of if I'm feeling motivated, perfect, I'm going to the gym. If I'm feeling motivated, perfect, I'm gonna have an amazing lift. No, just have good standards of if I'm not motivated, still you have those standards you've created to make sure you go and you crush it. You do whatever it takes to, get your workout in or whatever mindset, just, get out of that head, get out of your own head. Cause again, I could have, not gone in, but some days you win by just showing up. Every day is a win. You see, I could have given up and I could have just, like, nah, let's take another rest day. Let's take another, but like not really like a needed rest day. Like take rest days if you need to, but if you take more and more and more, what's you're giving your body? I know you're giving your body rest, obviously, but at a point you got to go back. You got to get back into it, and just by showing up, just by going in and just doing something when it's not my normal rest day. It's like just the routine I've built in my in my way of training is just the routine that I've created. If I see myself starting to slack, or if I see myself starting to take too many rest days when I don't need that many rest days, then I gotta ask myself and check myself out and say the thing is, what is it I'm actually doing? Why am what is it that I'm willing to do to get to what I want to get to? Instead of saying, why am I doing this? Or I got tomorrow to do it. Because if you keep showing up when nobody's watching, that saying is that's when the real results happen, because you're not relying on having your comparing yourself to other people, or having people always compliment you. Like it's yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's great seeing people compliment your physique. It's great seeing people compliment that you're working hard, all the X, Y, and Z compliments they can say. But if we're going to the gym, or if we're doing anything in life that you just need instant gratification of, oh my gosh, example, if like, oh my gosh, like you look amazing, oh my gosh, keep it up, like all like the instant gratification, yes, it's good in the moment, but we got to do some quiet time of just head down, hood up, hoodies up, and just lock in and just grind and grind and grind, because that's when you start to see the real results to happen, because no one's telling you, you're not getting that instant gratification that you are leeching for. And but it's hard. Everyone wants that, because we're in the society that we have right now. It's everyone's comparing themselves to someone better than them, instead of you just head down, work on your own self. Like I felt for a while, seeing other people out there with phenomenal physiques, and I'm like looking in the mirror and just saying, how the hell do I get that? Do I just start taking other things? Or what am I doing wrong that they're doing right? And I see like their videos and they're just eating like dog crap, and just I'm like, no, it's not right. So I've come to be more acceptable to not giving a crap about comparing myself to other people, because everyone's genetics are different, everyone is different, and it's everyone's own journey. Like we all have our own fitness paths or life paths that we take. If you want to take shortcuts, go be it. Like do it. If you want to actually take in the hard work and grind and start to chisel your body, or do things that are challenging, perfect. Both options, I'm not trying to bash either one, but like whatever works for you, do whatever you want. I don't care, because it's not my it's like it's not my business to be in that kind of like role. It's just do whatever you think you truly believe will make you feel better, be better, and just overall happier in a way. Another story that I have is yeah, so usually Sundays, this is for meal prepping. Usually Sundays I always meal prep. And it usually lasts till Wednesday, Thursday, and then I meal prep Friday, Saturday, Sunday back up again. Depending on what I want, depending on how, obviously now I go to Albertsons, Safeway. Those are Arizona stores, but they're like Ralph's, all the other ones, like wherever you're from, like those kind of things. But I look for the deals, like I'm looking for like the $1.97 per pound chicken, or the 97 cents pound for chicken, like, or when the ground beef's on sale, like $4.99 per pound, like all like that kind of stuff. That's probably not right, but some stuff like that. Like I'm looking for the deals. I'm not a cheapskate. I just I feel like we live in like in a society now. Like groceries are getting expensive. Like you could walk out of like Costco and spend $500 on like 20 things. I'm like, how the heck are we doing that? Why is that a thing? I go to Safeway. Usually I rack up, about like $45 in savings because I'm looking literally for deals. If it's not priced down or if it's not like something I need to buy, need to spend on, I don't get it. It's not needed. But when the things are on sale that I want, oh, clip in my app all dang time. I'm just doing that. But my meals, they're not fancy meals. Like they're very boring. Like they're very, 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 very boring. It's usually proteins I usually have are chicken, steak, ground beef, turkey when it comes to that. Um, Carbs are oats and rice and potatoes. And the fats are, avocados, olive oil, avocado spray, like nuts if I need to get some extra fat in. But that's it. That's basically it. And then I try to rotate things out with other things. But it does sound small about cooking all my chicken, cooking all my rice. Not my rice all the time, but like making my rice last for at least 4 days, and then start over. But it makes Mondays feel easy because I'm not in a rush to cook on a Monday, on a weekday when I have to go to work, when I come home late from work and all that. Because little habits like meal prepping, it's not glamorous at all. It's just a lot of cooking, cleaning, and just repeat. But they do add up. Like they add up of like you're taking let's say 4 hours out of your day to cook for a week's worth or for like 4 to 5 days worth, and then you restart again. Instead of if you have time though, I'm not saying, but I usually don't have time. Like if you have time to cook every day, perfect. It's amazing. I have buddies who do that, and it keeps them on their toes, and then they can have leftovers of Monday, cook, Tuesday, cook, Monday, leftovers Tuesday, then like Monday's leftovers for Wednesday, and then Thursday's leftovers from Tuesday. But some wins are, they're invisible. They're not gonna be there all the time, and it's okay. It's like part of how it is. It's part of how we do things, but they are real because it's not all the highlight reels you see on social media of yes, here's the meals I have, here's what I have. It's more of we're doing what we're doing and we're seeing what we're getting and we're doing it in a real way instead of showing a fake side of us on social medias. Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, YouTube, whatever. I'm not trying to bash anybody, but it's just how it is. Like we can't like I feel like, if you have everything shown out in the world, it's there are wins, yes, but some wins are going to be invisible to the naked eye or just in general because to other people it's not very like it's not going to be a win for them, but for you if it's something you're truly like accomplished about or something that you're truly hyped about, it is real. And that's all that matters. Third story is content is just, I've been getting more and more and more and more not slack. I've been slacking, yes, but I've been getting out of that of no matter what, whatever I edit, whatever I post, I thought it was dumb. It was just like something that like I truly wanted to post, and I thought it was dumb. But what I didn't expect anything from it. I just posted it, and then saw people comment, saw people like it, and it was truly like cool to see like I'm just in my head all the dang time of just this post I post this video I post, it's dumb or it's stupid. I look cringy as heck. But that's what I've come to realize. Like, there's gonna be so many cringy videos you're gonna make, and you just gotta post it because it gets you more comfortable when you get more and more and more and more used to posting. If it's you dancing, if it's you singing, if it's you, crying in your car and then ranting about this is how my day went, or if this is you just hitting a lift with your buddy and just mic'd up, all that. It's endless opportunities of filming. But if you are stuck in your head of, oh my gosh, this is dumb, this is stupid, and you never post it, it's always in the drafts. Like you're not giving yourself grace to see what could the possibilities are endless because you don't know what's gonna happen. That post could hit someone, or that post could be great for someone else. If like it's like a reflection or a motivation or some kind of thing that you're going through, they could be going through as well. And just post it. Like someone out there will resonate and feel heard or feel seen with whatever you post. It might inspire them to be better. It might inspire them to do something that they're not comfortable doing. It might even inspire them to just be outgoing more instead of, shelled off, be more outspoken. But you never know. If you don't post your content that you film, it will go nowhere. It'll just stay in the drafts and just, get dusty and dried up. Because what I've realized is that when I post things that, I the things that I post that I don't overthink about, they tend to do a lot better than the ones that I'm constantly editing the crap out of. And also the best work that, comes out of me is when I'm not overthinking. When I'm not, thinking about what would that person say or what would this person say or how would someone take this in this kind of way. No. It's more of now I'm posting it without overthinking and just seeing what happens. Cuz like I always say, consistency is better than perfection. I feel like I've come to know, like I've gotten better at that, is that my consistency has been down a little bit, but the new year I'm going to try to make it more post 2 times a day and post at least a YouTube video like once a week, twice a week of different things of my normal one and then like some kind of story or some kind of little mini hot topics or hot takes or whatever it is. And it's not going to be like perfect. Like lighting might be off, might be my car, all those things. But the consistency will drive that snowball effect of if I can consistently keep doing it and doing it and doing it, over time, I'll get better at editing, obviously. I'll get better at lighting. All that stuff will come in the long run and over time. Because what I want to tell you, if you only wait for, inspiration, if you only wait for the aha moments, what do you think will happen? The thing is, you'll never start it. You want to know why? Because if we're always trying to be inspired, if we're always waiting for inspiration of what should my next video be or what should this one be about, you can brainstorm all you want. And you can push it back. But I would just say just start. Just, if you want to do a podcast, if you want to do gym content, if you want to do lifestyle content, take your camera out, press the camera app or whatever, press the video, hit record, and just talk. Talk to people like you're talking to me. Just talk to like, hey, this is what I'm doing today. Come to the mall with me. Come to come to this 5-star Michelin restaurant or come to this, fast food place or go to In-N-Out with me. This is what I get. This is my meal. Like just start, and don't be discouraged if you don't get views, if you don't get likes, or if you don't get comments. You're building up. It's going to get you more confident, it's more comfortable. It's going to get you more used to being able to post on the daily. And then the fourth story is that, just personal. The everyday win that I have is that I had a day where oh, yeah, I had a day where I did almost nothing productive. I got home at like 4 a.m., went to bed at like 4:30, got up at I think 10 a.m., laid in my bed, and really wanted to go to the gym that day. But I felt guilty at first. Like I was like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like a piece of crap. I'm only doing nothing." But then I realized even showing up and thinking through things count. Like, you know, I got up, but it took a while, and I felt so unproductive. I always felt like I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm really doing nothing." But then, yeah, as I said, I realized even showing up and thinking through things count. Like I was thinking about what my plan was going to be, brainstorming the checklist that I'm making for the week of just make sure I do this, 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 and this. And I did it, but first I just fell off. But I got to get out of that mindset of, some days you got to take that. You got to, you got to be unproductive. It's okay. I'm not saying all the time, but, some days your body's really telling you to just rest and just be a lazy sack of potatoes. And don't feel guilty because you're still thinking, you're still showing up even when you're not physically doing anything. I think I stick by a lot is that wins don't have to be massive. If we create too many massive wins, too many big wins, like long term wins, and not short term wins or short wins, small wins that lead up to the bigger wins, you're setting yourself for failure because you're having too much of an high expectation of this is what I want to get to, but where's the small wins to get to that, like the stepping stones to get to that big win. Another thing is some days, just being present is the win, Not all the time, if your glass ain't full, you can't fill someone else, that saying. But just be present, just be happy, just enjoy life, We don't need to feel dark. We live in a dark world right now. Like everything's going to crap. If you see someone on the street, wave to them. If you see someone at the grocery store having a bad day, tell them, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. Like, I see you're not doing well. If you see anybody, just say hi. Don't look down. Don't be that one person that's like, I'm talking about. Like, they literally, I've done it sometimes, but I'm in the gym, like when I'm working out, head down. But like, you're walking down the aisle and all of a sudden you see someone look at you and you're like, down. Like, no, don't do that. Be friendly. We need more good light in this world, and that's the way to do it. But don't overshare. Just be, hey, how's you doing? Hope you have a great day. Or hello, how are you? And just walk past each other. That easy. Yeah. So those small stories, they add up, because life adds up. But that's the point. See those little victories, those stacking actions, those are what we call, for me, everyday wins. Like, yes, it might not be all glamour and flashy, but at least you're doing something. At least you're willing to do something and stay in that mindset of, the little victories are amazing. They lead to the bigger victories, obviously, and then stacking actions of doing something in a routine that you want to create will lead to everyday wins. Some life and daily habits that I've been reflecting on that I'm trying to be better in 2026 is lately my days have been have been simple. They've been simple lately. So yeah, I got my gym time, work, meals, content, sleep, repeat. Obviously, hang with friends, uh, hanging with friends as well, And honestly, that's enough. That's enough right now. Like I'm okay with that. Because, motivation ain't always gonna be there. It ain't always there. I'm always, there's gonna be I have days where I'm like, yo, I have not one single cell of me wants to be motivated to do my gym workout or my meal prepping or making content. My energy isn't always there too. That falls along with that motivation. Motivation's down, my energy is down with it as well. And, same thing. Don't want to work out. Feel weak. Don't want to post any content right now. But if you still show up on those days, it counts because you're, not in that mindset of if I have no motivation, if I have no energy, throw in the towel. No. Those should be the days that you try to be even greater because you have literally no motivation or you have no energy. So you got to work 10 times harder to get those thoughts rolling, get the dice moving, and, post whatever it is. Because we hear that saying, some people chase those big moments. A lot of people chase the big moments. Those flashy wins, those big viral trends, they're trying to fish out all those. But what you should chase is the quiet wins. Stay invisible, like just head down, keep your head down and just stay quiet. The everyday stuff that we all do. See, that's where life actually is built, is when we are quiet on the path that we want to be on with the everyday stuff that we're doing. Not those, big moments. Like those big moments, yes, they're great. But you also got to be quiet in some seasons because, I feel like if you just chase those big moments, you're just chasing for attention. And if you really are doing it, if you try to do it the right way, just chase the quietness. The quietness will outbeat the loudness any day. You might not agree, but that's what I think is that the quietness will outbeat those loud noises, all the dang time. So a mindset shift that I'm having now, or I've been reflecting on as it's becoming the new year, is that I've been living by small wins over big gestures. I've been living by consistency over hype, and showing up when no one's watching. Like those two things last year struggled with in the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, I felt so much more confident, so more comfortable of not feeling false hope or feeling discouraged for big gestures if I don't get it. But those smaller ones led up to those big gestures. Staying consistent, not just, hyping up what I have and, just showing up when no one's watching. Just, being there, not caring a bit in the world of what other people think. I'm just there, I'm just going to show up. Because this week, yes, I fell back, one step forward, two steps back. And it was one of those back moments of I messed up. Uh, Thursday, I didn't go to the gym. Didn't eat right. I literally caved in for some freaking Taco Bell. I had like the deluxe discovery box, whatever that is. Was it good? No. Do I regret it? No, because it was my actions. I gotta take full responsibility of what I did, and it happens. Like one day, one day doesn't erase the other wins that I had. You know, we do have those days where we fall short, and it's okay. Like, we're human, we're imperfect, and like, we slip up. One day ain't gonna hurt me, and I hate how people think that, oh my gosh, if I fall off my routine for one freaking day, it's over. My world is ending. No, don't be discouraged. Like, as someone who has had a hard can't even talk. As someone who has had a hard time putting on muscle, putting on weight, it's okay. One day ain't gonna kill you. Holiday seasons, for example, holiday weeks. You're having like you're with that time. That's different a little bit because like you don't have a choice because it's holiday seasons or like we splurge out during the holidays. But a day out of the week, if like, oh, like I'm not going to the gym, I want to stay in bed, I want to just rot, and then you eat too much portions or you don't eat the right stuff that you need, and you go out and get some kind of fast food like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, whatever it is, whatever you feel like having, In-N-Out, Rice Canes. That one day, it the other wins that you've created, it doesn't clean slate. It doesn't do that. No, no, no. You still have those wins, and that's the lesson that I've had to realize that I was so hard on myself of slacking off, not going to the gym, not doing anything, and then eating piss poorly of freaking getting Taco Bell this week. Oh my gosh, TMI, but the bathroom terrible. Taco Bell it went right through me, and I'm like, God, why'd I do that? But now I'm not as hard on myself. Like it's just one day I caved in. I caved in. Yes, that's it. I literally caved in, and then in the moment it felt amazing to have, but afterwards, oh no, it was mid. It was not that good. But I wanted Taco Bell. I got my cravings. I got it. Will I get it again? No. But some days are boring. Some days are boring. Some days are gonna be great. Are gonna be amazing. Which day's better? Is it the days that are boring, or is it the days that are great? It's a trick question. They're both important. They both count. Because if you show up, that is the real win. It's just show up, please. Like, you might not want to, but I feel like if you do, I'm betting that you'll feel a lot better. My lifestyle and my perspective right now is that I've reflected to realize that I don't need to figure everything out right now. Like, some things, yes, obviously I have to figure out, but the wins that are invisible, don't worry about. The days I feel unproductive, they're okay. You want to know why? Because I trust the process. Let the small things stack up. I just keep moving. I'm not trying to go one step forward, two steps back, because if I keep moving, that is enough. Because how life is, like, we're going through stages of life that, you know, just trust the process. Yes, some news might be better than others, but we can't just quit. We gotta fight. We gotta fight for what's right. And just trusting the process it's hard. It's very hard because I'm the type of person that wants control of like just stay in control. Like trust the process. Holy cow! Like no, I want to like make the process. I want to make it a reality, not just an epiphany of oh my gosh, if I trust the process, this is gonna get done. And just let things, run its course, run their courses of just gotta take away the control. If you want to control everything, odds are you're not going to. And you're gonna have a big, big, big problem of, well, I didn't get what I wanted, and I should have, and you're gonna feel hurt or feel mad for no reason because you've created that fantasy in your head that if I control, if I'm the master of this game board, if I'm the master of this, this circumstance, I should get what I want. And it's not how it works. Like you can't control everything. So yeah, take a minute today to notice one small win. Hit the gym, cook your meals, post your content. Like please post your content, or just show up. Because as I said in the beginning, this episode is literally about everyday win. Everyday wins matter more than the dramatic moments. Screw the dramatic moments. Just make every day winning. Make every day a great day. Or find the joy in the day. Whatever it was. Don't let those bad. Someone flips you off, or someone doesn't talk to you, or someone does something rude. Please don't make that like stand out, because let's be honest. Why do you care that much, or like why would you put that much what is the word I'm trying to look for? If someone, calls you a name, in the moment, yes, but like don't make that don't make that person feel they need to be like you got to think about them. No, like you don't know who they are. They don't know who you are. So why are you putting some sort of out of this, what am I trying to say? Why are you putting that much effort in having that one bad thought be stuck in your head? It's useless. It's literally stupid. Because if you're getting triggered by some random person, being very rude to you after it's happened, if it's like, 4 hours later and you're still pissed off, you're really going to let that one person have a piece of you and just feel butthurt. Like, no. Why? Like, you don't know them. They don't know you. And it's just like crazy how like some people, oh my gosh, some people literally carry a grudge for the freaking rest of their life about someone, like calling them name, flipping off, different story. But like, didn't wave. Like I have a friend who didn't wave at each other at my gym. They got beef now. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, just cause like he was zoned in. Like, no doubt he was zoned in. I'm like, you're really gonna have a grudge about just cause he didn't wave to you when he was clearly locked in at the gym? Come on. So yeah, don't let that bother you. But think about it. What is one small win you can celebrate today? I got nothing more to say today. So this is the JP podcast, and we'll pick it up later.